The victory tour is designed to be a flawless, highly produced procession. For the capital, it serves a single operational purpose, projecting absolute dominance and reminding the districts of the wealth and power they can never touch. The team managing Katniss and Peeta is entirely insulated from the reality of the districts. Effie Trinket's primary concerns are minor schedule delays and personal convenience. Her constant fretting over the itinerary highlights how oblivious the capital elite are to the actual stakes on the ground. That pristine illusion shatters in District 11. An old man whistles Rue's four-note melody, and the crowd responds with a spontaneous, unified three-finger salute. It is an immediate, coordinated rejection of capital authority. The capital's broadcast cuts the feed, but Katniss and Peeta see the reality bleed through. Peacekeepers push them inside, just as the execution begins. The solemn, peaceful facade the capital intended to air is instantly replaced by the sound of a gun firing into the crowd. Standing behind the heavy doors of the Justice Building, Katniss realizes her survival in the arena only increased the stakes. Her precarious position now acts as the central hinge for the survival of her family and the entire nation. The capital's media blackout works for the televisions, but it fails to suppress the brutal reality of the rebellion Katniss accidentally ignited. The blood has already been spilled. To escape the capital microphones and the immediate danger below, Hamish leads Katniss and Peeta through a maze of twisting staircases. They reach the hidden, abandoned dome of the Justice Building. Here, Katniss drops the act. She lays out the truth about her meeting with President Snow, detailing his direct threats and the deadly consequences her stunt with the Nightlock berries has triggered across the districts. The confession enrages Peeta. He realizes that the dynamic he thought they shared in the arena was a system of silent communication between Hamish and Katniss, one that kept him entirely in the dark. This realization forces Peeta to acknowledge the gravity of their situation. He stops viewing the victory tour as a matter of public image and recognizes that his performance is the only thing standing between the districts and mass executions. As Peeta storms away, the thick layers of dust he disrupted billow up and settle over everything around them. The heavy reality of what they actually won in the games, a lifetime of continuous danger, blankets their supposed victory. The secret is out. Moving forward, Katniss and Peeta must maintain a calculated, desperate performance. Every move is now a tactical effort to keep their families alive. This route shows the frenetic pace of the rest of the tour. The capital forces them to hop relentlessly across the country, making daily appearances at prestigious ceremonies while entirely exhausted. The visual strategy forced upon Katniss relies heavily on distraction. Her stylists dress her in shimmering, dazzling outfits, pulling her hair into tight ringlets to project an image of harmless, starry-eyed innocence. Together, Katniss and Peeta push their act to the limit. At every dinner and public event, they act delirious, playing the part of two teenagers completely besotted with each other. This is the core objective of their performance, to convince the country that their defiance in the arena was an improbable act of blinding love, completely devoid of political rebellion. But look at the map as they reach Districts 8, 4, and 3. In reality, the crowds here project genuine elation at the sight of the victors. Underneath that elation is barely contained fury. The dissent is spreading. When peacekeepers attempt to quiet the unruly crowds in these specific districts, the people no longer retreat. They actively press back against the armed guards. The victory tour was designed to be a weapon of mass pacification. Instead, parading the victors through these starving, angry districts acts as a spark, setting the population ablaze with open resistance. When they finally return to the capital, the contrast is nauseating. The elite class surrounds them in cloying luxury, making casual conversation over extravagant dinners, entirely oblivious to the uprisings brewing outside their borders. During their final live interview, Peeta plays their last tactical card. He drops to one knee on stage and delivers a highly publicized, emotional marriage proposal. The Capitol audience reacts with absolute hysteria. The crowds erupt in ecstasy, seemingly confirming that the romantic facade has worked on the city's elites. But the only reaction that matters belongs to President Snow. When he approaches Katniss to congratulate her, she searches his face for validation. Did she do it? Was giving everything over to the performance enough to save them? Snow delivers his silent verdict. A microscopic shake of his head confirms that her absolute surrender was not enough. Despite the dazzling outfits and the hysterical applause, the broadcast failed its primary objective. The spark has caught, the illusion of control is broken, and Katniss is officially out of options.